Dangote Cement PLC has commissioned a $250 million cement grinding plant in Douala, Cameroon. The foundation stone for a 200-meter jetty was also laid in Douala to facilitate the operations of the plant. Lying on the coastline of the Bight of Bonny Port, the Gulf of Guinea and the Atlantic Ocean, Cameroon, often referred to as Africa in miniature on account of its geological and cultural diversity, is home to about 200 different linguistic groups. Dangote Group chose Cameroon for the multi-million-dollar investment because of its strategic positioning as the largest economy in Central Africa and abundant natural resources. Douala, which is considered to be the economic capital of Cameroon, is one of the largest cities in the country. French and English are the official languages in Cameroon. Among other factors that have been attracting foreign investments to Cameroon is the continued political stability, adequate security, and the growing development of infrastructure, which is the lifeblood of investment. The historic commissioning of Dangote Cement in Douala, Cameroon, on Thursday, 27th of August 2015, was characterized by a heavy downpour, which almost shut down commercial activities in Douala. However, the event attracted a very impressive attendance of professionals from the different spheres and friends of the Dangote Group from all parts of the world. The dignitaries in attendance include Governor Adams Oshiomhole of Edo State, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, Mr. Femi Otedola, Chief Audu Ogbe, Otumba Niyi Adebayo, Chief Mike Ogiadome. The Cameroonian community was there in their legion, the business, the corporate, traditional institution, chiefs, and the ordinary natives of Cameroon. They were there to embrace another initiative of Alhaji Aliko Dangote GCON, the president of Dangote Group, to further strengthen the bilateral ties between Nigeria and Cameroon and accelerate economic integration among African countries. Given the very low per capita consumption of cement in Africa, which is a critical factor to measure development, it's therefore a very welcome development to see that Alhaji Aliko Dangote has intensified his efforts to see that the cement market in Africa is giving a significant boost to force down prices of the commodity and catalyze the demand for it. It should be stated that the investment policies in Nigeria, which encourage the growth of import substitution industries, especially in areas with comparative advantage like cement, has played a major role in the success of Dangote's industrialization drive, which has resulted in the establishment of cement factories in 16 African countries to date. In his remarks at the former commissioning of the Dangote $250 million cement plant in Douala, Cameroon, which has a capacity to produce 1.5 million tons of cement annually, the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote GCON, said that the plant in Douala, Cameroon, is the company's largest greenfield project in any neighboring country with which Nigeria shares not only a boundary, but also a long history of brotherly relationship dating back from the colonial days. Alhaji Aliko Dangote said that the company signed the investment agreement for the development and operation of a quarry and a cement grinding plant with the Cameroonian government on September 9, 2011.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, about 4 years ago, precisely on the 19th of September 2011, we gathered here on this same spot, also chaired by His Excellency the Prime Minister, then an ordinary sports ground for the signing of the investment agreement for the development and also operations of a quarry and cement grinding unit, and the groundbreaking ceremony between Dangote Industries Limited then and the government of Cameroon for this project. I'm glad that the project has finally come to fruition. I'm happy to announce that this plant is our largest greenfield project in the neighboring country, with which we not only share a boundary, but also a long history of brotherly relationship dating from our colonial days. Owing to the rich culture and history that we share, we have a better understanding of Cameroon. For this reason, we feel particularly at home in Cameroon, and for this reason too, we are determined to explore other areas where we can contribute our own quota to the remarkable economic transformation which is taking place under the government of President Paul Biya.
Alhaji Aliko Dangote stated that the impressive economic revolution of the Cameroonian government in the power sector, infrastructural and industrial development, as well as the transportation sector, have played a major part in the growth of businesses in the country over the years. Dangote Cement first came into Cameroon in 2008, but the investment agreement was signed with the government in 2011. Through the establishment of Dangote Cement plant in Cameroon, the country's economic value has been significantly boosted through the creation of thousands of jobs and a huge support to the government's infrastructural development. Other value-adding benefits that the establishment of the Dangote Cement factory in Douala has thrown up include the conservation of scarce foreign exchange resources through the drastic reduction of importation of cement, creation of revenue for the government through the payment of value-added tax, royalties and taxes.
This massive economic revolution that is particularly evident in the power sector, infrastructural development, industrial development, and the transportation industry has impacted positively on businesses. We can attest to this as we have been one of the major beneficiaries. Dangote Cement first came into Cameroon in 2008, but it was a bit difficult and we did not start anything until 2011 that we eventually secured this site. Following this, we signed the investment agreement with the government of Cameroon on the 19th of September 2011. This investment not only supports the government's aggressive infrastructural development program, but it also adds value to the economy as it has created thousands of jobs. Other benefits of our investment includes conservation of scarce foreign resources through drastic reduction of importation of cement, creation of revenue for the government through payment of VAT, royalties and taxes, and contribution to the overall economic development of the country.
Alhaji Aliko Dangote GCON also informed the audience the plans have reached an advanced stage for the commencement of the second phase of the Douala plant, which is expected to double the capacity to 3 million tons per annum from the present 1.5 million tons of cement annually. Alhaji Aliko Dangote said that the company will soon open an additional quarry in the country and commission more than 200 new heavy-duty trucks to enhance service delivery to its customers.
Your Excellencies, having given you a brief background into our project and highlighted the expected benefits, we are very happy to announce that we are commissioning this project today, and the plans are afoot towards the commencement of the second phase of the plant, which will see doubling the capacity from 1.5 million tons to 3 million tons. We are also opening additional Pozzolana quarry, which will make it 2 quarries. We will be laying the foundation stone of our 200 meters jetty and admin building today. We are also launching over 200 brand new trucks to enhance service delivery to our customers.
Alhaji Aliko Dangote said that he will forever remain grateful to the Cameroonian authorities for the warm brotherly courtesies extended to him all the time and the enabling environment prevalent, which has continued to help his business to thrive in the country. The richest man in Africa said that for that reason, his desire is to continue to expand the scope of his business in such a friendly and politically stable environment.
It is on this score that we want to again express our deep gratitude to the Cameroonian government for some of the favorable relief and concessions that have actually encouraged us to invest in this country. And Mr. Prime Minister, we would like to thank you very much for your leadership, for having given us these concessions. With enabling policies that are put in place by this government, we will be moving Cameroon into a self-sufficiency in local cement production and also an exporter through our current investment and planned expansion program. Cameroon will not, and I repeat, they don't really need to import cement anymore. We will make sure that they become a major exporter of cement in Central Africa.
In the remarks of the 82-year-old Cameroonian president, Mr. Paul Biya, who was represented by the Prime Minister, Mr. Philemon Yang, he congratulated the Dangote Group for being worthy entrepreneurial ambassadors of the African continent, who have over the years contributed significantly to Cameroon's gross domestic product (GDP) through massive investment. He attested to the fact that through the establishment of Dangote Cement Factory in Douala, thousands of jobs have been created. He urged other foreign companies to emulate the investment drive by Alhaji Aliko Dangote in Cameroon.
This cement factory is clear evidence that Cameroon is proud to have investments from Nigerian business persons. We are a country in search of excellence and happiness. We are a liberal democracy with a liberal economy. That says it all. This is a day of celebration for the industrial sector in Cameroon. We celebrate the investments you have already made and the investments you will make in future. In liberalizing this economy, the state of Cameroon made the private sector the engine of economic development. We have faith in the continuous investment by the private sector. The private and public sectors work hand in hand all the time and in all places. Our ambition is to develop a vibrant and successful private sector. This cement factory demonstrates the exemplary role that the Dangote Group can play in our government strategy on wealth creation and job creation, as well as South-South cooperation. The government of this country appreciates your contribution to the development of our industrial fabric. Thank you for deciding to play a key role in our process of industrialization.
The highlight of the ceremony was the formal commissioning of the Dangote cement plant, which was performed by the Prime Minister, Mr. Philemon Yang, who stood in for President Paul Biya. Alhaji Aliko Dangote and other dignitaries were in attendance. They were later taken on a facility tour of the plant. Here, all the inner workings of the plant were thoroughly explained to them by the operatives in the different sectors of the ultra-modern, multi-billion naira high-tech Dangote cement plant in Douala, Cameroon. The very encouraging strides of Alhaji Aliko Dangote to link the peoples of the African continent together through trade and investment should be embraced by other well-meaning Africans. This is to consolidate the growth of an export-based economy, which Africa needs to properly position itself in the global business environment. It's hearty kudos to the Nigerian-born Pan-African entrepreneur par excellence, Alhaji Aliko Dangote GCON, for his trailblazing efforts as cement giants of Africa.
No, it's very inspiring to people like us to know that once the government has a level playing field, conducive environment, then businesses will thrive.
So Aliko Dangote has broken down all the barriers that has inhibited the unity of our people. And I told my colleagues in the NLC that we now have an African that is creating jobs for African workers across different regions of the continent. And that for me is the most important thing. Jobs. Because if people are working, we're going to have peace.
Well, one cannot but be impressed by what the Dangote Group is doing in Africa. They are raising the bar in terms of production of cement. As you've pointed out, this is another plant here in Africa. one of the many that he has established in Africa. And I think this is a very, very positive thing, positive for the Dangote Group, positive for Nigeria, because he's raising the flag of Nigeria all over Africa. And I think it's a wonderful thing.
We just commissioned this one, and we're actually going to start the second phase in Yaoundé in the next couple of months, maybe 2 months or 3 months from now. We'll start doing in Yaoundé.